So I said, and let me play among the stars. Quiet. And I said, let me see what spring gets like on. The whole place goes crazy. And they played it, Damo and all of them are playing it in a way that's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's
just
fly.
flip it. The place goes wild. After I finished, the place is clapping crazy. And Jamie said, no. Who is that? And he said, bring him back out. And I come out, he says, what's your name? I said, Major. He says, Major. He said, where can people find you, man? And I said, YouTube. Everybody go to YouTube, / Major Crooner. He said, sing it. I said, everybody go to YouTube, / Major Crooner. And he started singing it back. I'm not seeing him because it's dark. And I'm just hearing his voice. I'm like, Jamie Foxx is talking to me. And this place is going wild. He said, everybody back up on your feet, go crazy. They all singing it back and they're just singing it. And that moment went viral for me. And I just remembered him saying, where are you from? He says, you from the church. You sound like a pastor. I'll never forget that night. He says, you taking off.
Welcome to the podcast. My name is Jaime Shepherd. Today I am privileged to have one of my close friends. He's a Grammy nominated. He's a singer-songwriter. He's an actor. He wears so many hats, but he's really just a thorn in my flesh.
You're welcome.
He's really just a thorn in my flesh. But I'm glad to have my brother Major. Major, thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I just think that before you could understand who a person is, you don't know the fruit until you understand the root.
Yeah.
So
bars.
In understanding what the root is, I got a whole lot of bars. I'm Drake Jr.
Stay humble.
Drake Jr. No,
Okay.
Not gonna do it. But I just want to know, like, who are your parents?
Can I start here? Firstly, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Don't control my podcast.
Listen, just go with it. Just go with it. Just go with it. You know I move with Holy Spirit, mate.
Oh, don't throw the Holy Spirit in there because I
can't
contest. I can't contest the Holy Spirit.
Right.
So
there
you throw
go.
Jesus
there
in the
you
mix.
Go. Deference. Listen, I thank you for making space for me. I'm very honored by the moment. I'm inspired by your movement. You've been in very key parts of my journey, not just in the jewelry space, but just as me growing as a man, as a person, as a man of God. I dig the Let Your Light Shine movement. I've yet to receive any merchandise, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah. But I just want people to know that this is the Major that has a song called This Is Why I Love You. And I'm not even going to make you pay for publishing for me singing that. I just want them to know this is that Major. This is Carlotta's boy from the TV show Star on Fox. I was Rashad, where I said, this ain't my life. So this ain't my life.
You need to tell me my intro wasn't good enough?
Nah,
so my intro wasn't good enough.
You like Grammy nominated. That's great. Singer, songwriter. That's great. We're in LA. That comes a dime a dozen. But do you?
I want to get into the conversation, brother.
Listen,
I was so excited about your story.
Listen. Just
people saw you on Stars. People saw that.
It's Star. It's Star. It wasn't Stars.
Well, people saw you on Star. They saw you. Wasn't you like Latifah's son or something?
Yeah, true. I like that. There it is. But beautiful people, I'm that guy, Major. The name my mama gave me, born into a blended family. It was 10 of us, 10 siblings. I am number 4, and I always sang. To give you a little backstory with my name being Major, my mom finally told me the reason behind my name once I was about to graduate college, actually. I was the first out of my siblings to go to college, let alone graduate. And when she told me that when she was pregnant with me, she got pregnant with me at what was considered an inconvenient time. She was embarrassed to have.
How old was she?
She was her last year of college, so maybe 22, maybe.
So she wasn't that young.
She already had my brother young, out of wedlock. And so she had my brother while in college and trying to beat that statistical odd, you know what I mean? And so she's like, she gets pregnant again and has another child, is about to have another child out of wedlock. So she considered abortion. And when she go on her way to the abortion clinic, the tire goes flat. And so she turns around, and at that time you had to have an appointment. It wasn't you just pop up anytime. Yeah. And so on her, because the pressure kind of, you know, when you feel the shame once and then you try to make a decision, the right decision, and then the shame just compounds, it just hits harder. And so she goes back on her way to the abortion clinic 2 weeks later in nearly the same spot, a different tire busted. And so she said, God, I hear you. I'm going to go through with having this child. But if I have this child and if I name him Major, I pray that he makes a major impact on the world.
Wow.
So she knew.
Mom started you out right.
Yeah. I was a pregnancy where she rededicated her life to Christ. I'm grateful for the story. I wish she had told me a little sooner.
What's the relationship with your siblings? Since your story, your entry was so dope. Were you your mom's favorite though?
I didn't say it. You said it. I talked to her today. She seemed happy to talk to me then. You know?
But I'm saying, in that, what's your relationship like with your siblings? Were you always different?
Always. I've always been Major in every way. Unapologetically Major.
Is that a good thing though?
I don't know. Jaime, you tell me.
I mean, it's a good thing now, but I'm sure as your big brother or your younger brother or your sibling, you probably would have got on my nerves.
I think they probably said Major is a lot, always.
Yeah, I can see that.
But one thing they do know is they can count on me for anything. I come through for them anytime, every time. So help me God. We're very close. I was kind of like the Dr. Phil of my family growing up. So while I may have been annoying, I was the one that all of my siblings, older or younger, talked to get through and process through situations. So, I mean, you know, you get all of it.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful that you have those relationships. Are you still close to your siblings?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dope.
Absolutely.
Are they all like you?
No.
Everybody's different?
Everybody's unique in their own way. My youngest brother Titus, they say, is the most like me, but nah.
Are any of them musically inclined?
My mom made sure all of us played music somehow. We had some musical upbringing and
Did
education.
It stick with all of them, or
I'm the one that's taken it.
Take the course.
Yeah. I have my brother Titus played saxophone and sings. My brother Sean plays saxophone and sings. Scotty played classical vibraphones. Josh played drums, percussion. Walter played trumpet. Alethea played piano. Yeah.
So by your mom introducing you, how old were you when you fell in love with music?
3 years old.
No, 3. You can't even remember 3.
3 years old. I absolutely
you can't even remember 3.
3 years old. It's on record. I told my mother I will be a famous singer. At 3 years old? Yes, an international superstar. Imagine a 3-year-old putting those words together, and a pastor. That's what I said.
Wow.
And eventually I was like, well, I'll be a gospel international superstar.
But at 3, it was probably something that was spoken. And it was something that was joined. But at what age were you when you fell in love with music?
I was singing. She put me in music lessons at that time.
At 3 years old?
At 3 is when I told her. 5 years old was when I started the actual music lessons with Wright's Music Studio. Shout out to Eric and Stephanie.
And what city was this in?
Houston, Texas.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So at 3 years old?
At 3 years old, I was singing solos. I'm telling you. And it was.
And people were taking you serious.
Seriously. And even in choir, because I'm always major.
So you were all church though. You were a straight church boy.
Yeah, church raised me.
Church raised you.
You said, you don't really know the fruit until you know the root.
Uh-huh.
The church. My uncle was a pastor. We had a very active church in the community. I sat on the front row every single Sunday.
So church was your life.
My life. And
did you love it though? You know how some people grow up in church and they have a resentment.
I said I wanted everything my uncle did as a pastor because I watched him help people everywhere.
And change lives.
I watched lives change. I watched people start broken and confused and frustrated, and tears would fall, and then they're smiling again and their circumstances are changing. And I said, God, I want to do that. My imaginary friend, I kid you not, was Jesus. Jesus was my imaginary friend, talking to him like we are like literal buddies. What are we doing today, Jesus? Who are we helping today?
That's dope.
That's been my life.
That's been your life. So it's not, when people see this person, this is who you've always been.
And
so you've been consistently major.
Always been major. And everybody will tell you, anybody that has known me since then, that's how it's always been.
So like in elementary school and junior high school, like you were always the dude that was in the choir, always singing in front of the school, doing that kind of thing. That was your life.
Not only was that my life, but I was also the kid that my teachers would talk to about their problems.
Oh, wow. Wow.
The student that my teachers would have conversations with. If I didn't fall asleep, if I couldn't fall asleep, you remember kindergarten, we took nap time.
Yeah.
If I wasn't.
So in kindergarten, these grown people would be talking to you about situations that they're going in.
Life and.
Why am I talking to a kindergartner about life?
I'm telling you, I've always been an old soul. It's just what it is. I'm in my 30s, by the way, just in case you disrespect me and say I'm older, because I'll knock you out,
Thank you, Uncle Major.
People have been calling me Uncle Major since
Uncle Major.
This episode is brought to you by Harold & Bell's, LA's legendary Creole kitchen, serving up soulful flavors since 1969. Whether you're craving classic jambalaya, crispy catfish, or a warm bowl of gumbo, Harold & Bell's delivers Southern hospitality with every bite. Dine in, take out, or let us cater your next celebration. Stop by and experience a true taste of New Orleans, only at Harold & Bell's.
So crazy. So high school was this way to where you were always, but what about like relationships and stuff like that? Did the music you were so focused on music, did you have time to get involved in the typical high school loves and summer loves and stuff like that?
I had girlfriends throughout.
Did you have a chaperone since you were so religious? You had to go on dates?
But I was the kid that every mom could trust. Every parent could trust because I was so, and that's different.
That's
because let me tell you something.
Because I was that other dude.
Listen, yes. You're absolutely one of my siblings. You're one of my siblings. Because shout out to Scotty. I love him so much. But Scotty and Sean, Fred, they know what's up. Listen, I saw the other side, and I saw how it can throw you off. Now, mind you, they have made something tremendous of themselves, but I was always convicted deeper in a way where it was like, I got to commit to representing God to the best of my ability. It was never judgmental, though. That's why it was so dope. People would connect with me because in it, I never moved in a way where I would make somebody feel they were less than because of what they decided to do.
And I think that's one of your dope attributes is something that even if you see things that people are doing that you don't particularly care for, it doesn't prevent you from having a relationship with them, and it doesn't prevent you from actually being cool with them. Sometimes people from the church get a self-righteous posture to where they start looking down on people to make themselves feel better. But I guess because you've always had a strong self-confidence, you never needed nothing to make yourself feel better.
But that's the thing. I didn't always have a strong confidence. I had a courage that proved to me.
You don't think they're synoptic?
I've just learned it. I've just come to realize, because shout out to Pastor Julian. I go to Oasis Church, and Pastor Julian helped me understand that I actually have existed with the marriage of two. It was never the absence of one. It was a balance of the two, because when my confidence was a little shifty, my courage would make up for it. But the thing is, you don't move in courage often until you have something, because confidence is based on a recollection. Confidence is based on you only move confidently when you know what has existed before.
Depending on the situation, though. Some confidence is situational because you just get fed up and you say, man,
that's
whatever
courage.
it is I do. But
that's courage.
But courage and confidence are...
No. Confidence is literally, think about it. Courage is the go. It's the go. It's the go. It's the absolute, I'm doing it. Confidence is the thing that fuels.
And, you know, it's funny that you say that, because one of my favorite stories in the Bible is David. And when Saul was out with the army and Goliath was talking a lot of mess to everybody, and David went and he said, I could fight Goliath. And it was like, what qualifies you to fight him? He was like, I've killed lions and tigers and bears. Surely this uncircumcised Philistine doesn't serve a chance. So what he did was he went back and looked back. And when he recalled what he was going through, he was like, because if I could do this dude don't have a chance. And I think that's what I've found in my life, to where I constantly have to look back at where God has brought me from in order for me to understand the things that I get in front of, they lose value once I understand what God has already done.
And it's a knowing. It gets us to that be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. I was talking to my mom earlier today, and I was sharing with her some of the new stuff that I'm working on with this Major Hope project. And we were talking about the knowing. It's all based in that knowing. When you go outside, and we're at Harold and Bell's, shout out to Harold and Bell's. I'm excited about eating some more of their food. But you see a tree, it will take some serious convincing to make you believe that a tree is a car. Why do you know it's a tree? Because you've seen a tree grow. You've seen what a tree looks like. You've got a frame of reference where you know that you go up to it, you touch it. I know what a tree feels like. I know how a tree moves. I know what it does. So you move in the confidence of, I can call that thing a tree because I know what I've experienced in my past about what a tree is. So when God says, be still and know that I am God, he's like, you've seen me make a way, and then 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 make a way. So if I'm in my right now and I need a way to be made, I can be still because I know.
In fitness, they call it muscle memory.
Easy. Right.
They call it muscle memory.
It all connects.
It's all connects. So it's muscle memory. Like it's faith. It's confidence to where you recollect what God has done. And then once you do that, it sets you right. Yeah. I think that's awesome, man. That's a word, bro. That's a word. You should preach that.
You're welcome.
Preach well.
You're welcome. We'll
just
give them the podcast.
Yeah.
Jaime.
Tell me this. So going through high school.
Yes, sir.
High school was dope. You go to this, what's the name of that school? Like, it's a little school.
No, wait, because you're not gonna pass up my high school though. Because I went to the high school for the performing and visual arts, known for Robert Glasper, Brian Michael Cox, known for LaToya Luckett, and some very modest artist by the name of Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
So
and all of them went to the same school that you went to?
Same school.
How did you get in?
Listen. The grace of the good Lord. No, but shout out to HSPVA and all the beautiful people that went there. Keep going, bro.
That's awesome. I didn't know that you went to that school. That's awesome that they even accepted you, because weren't you like special education?
You know what? I was special and the education was mighty. So we'll just go. However you want to put it together. See, what you won't ever do is hand me a disrespect and it not be returned as the core of your heart meant to put it.
So this school, and I'm just so flattered, like you did the roll call of the high school that you went to, but the high school you went to set you up for the college that you went to, and Berkeley School of Music. Berkeley College of Music. I stand to be corrected.
It's okay.
The College of Music, it's a mecca for theater and for music. And I just want to know, like, what was that experience like being in a place like that? Because it just seems like a creative space to where you're around all these different people that are creatives. But how do you bring them together to to merge their talents and get them to a place where you can work in concert with each other?
For me, I grew up early on in music. I grew up early on in community. When you have 10 siblings, I ultimately have 13 siblings because on my dad's side with my stepmom, it's 5 of them. So I knew
how many were in the house with you at one time?
At one time, it would probably be like 6 of us, six siblings at a time. But at the end of the day, it's 8:08. I gotta shut my alarm's going off. That's when I say I love you to my beautiful wife. And I love her. I love her so very much.
I would hope so.
Thank you, Jaime of Beverly Hills, Jason
so.
Of Beverly Hills for the ring. Yeah, that sealed the deal.
That was the hardest sale that I've ever made.
You're very welcome. Anyway, but it started early where I learned community. And I think that readied me for what these performing arts schools and programs did, because I was in performing arts schools all of my life. And so going to Berkeley, I was postured to be able to be amongst big fish, in the ocean, like I was amongst so much giftedness.
Who are some of the people that you were in school with at that time?
Imagine Dragons, Esperanza Spalding.
Oh, wow.
I'm drawing a blank. Shout out to Nicole Hurst, who just took her wings and transitioned to heaven. She was background singer for Justin Timberlake, Kelly Clarkson, Janet Jackson.
Bless her.
Lots of folks. Literally, my mind's going blank right now.
And you were there with one of my cousins, Jason.
Yeah, Jason Pate. That's my brother.
Who told me they called you Major Choir Boy.
They used to call me Choir Boy. And that's the thing. So I told you, my mom told me my name when I was about to graduate, Berkeley. I hated my name, so I would try everything to kind of take it away from it being Major, because it was like, why are they calling me? Yeah. My brother's name's Scotty. There's Fred. There's Josh. There's Walter. And I'm like, why can't I have a regular name?
But you were like Joseph. That was your coat of many colors.
Right. And so, and it was wild, but it was then that I started bracing. But they used to call me Major Choir Boy Johnson. And I didn't even keep my dad's last name on the end of it, because I was just like, don't focus on anything else but just Choir Boy. And then when she told me that right before I graduated, it shifted everything for me. And it said, you got to lock into this identity that was given to you. There's purpose in this thing. This is who you are and who you've always been. Yeah. So now I embrace Major, and it just fits.
As you should.
It just works.
But to me, like for me, when I think of those schools of music, you have so many prodigies and so many people that musicians aren't the easiest people to get along with, because they're not really, they live in their own space.
That's not true. Don't be disrespectful.
A lot of musicians live in their own space.
No, we live in our own space.
They're unique.
But we're not difficult to get along with.
Perfect pitch. They hear things that don't exist.
At random.
They see things that don't exist. They create things that no one else sees. So when you're dealing with these kind of people as an outsider, it seems like it would be difficult to sort of bring all of those things together, no?
We were all aliens. We were all aliens.
But you spoke the same language.
And spoke the same language. It's a frequency. It's a frequency that you operate on, because our language may not have been the same words, but it was the same energy of creativity. And that's a God expression. God being the creator, that's what it is.
It seemed like it would be intoxicating to be in a creative space like that.
It was now, a lot of them, most musicians, especially the jazz musicians, needed they got a little help to get high. But mine was, I'm just in this. High. It was a euphoria, of energy, of brilliance, and so many giftings and stuff like that. But another thing for me that made me a little different from the norm is I'm a left and a right brain. I'm very creative, but I'm also cerebral. very and very cerebral, very technical as well. So I would have both of these that I'm juggling. So that allowed me to be student body president when I was there. That allowed me to build relationships with this organization, you know, an alpha man, you know, pledge alpha and all that stuff, because I was moving in a space that had a balance. But it's frustrating because very rarely in the creative space do people operate with the cerebral. They're just like, just be creative, man. Just relax. And I'm like,
no balance.
Right. And I'm just like, but wait, think about it. We can create all of this stuff, but who are we talking to? Who's our audience? We got to remember that we're responding to a need.
And it's an accountability of the gift. You got to be accountable for the gift. You got to be accountable for the gift that God has given you. But a lot of people don't see it from that perspective. A lot of people think that it's theirs, but it's not yours. This is God's gift. And I just think that for me, it's poetry in motion to see how God has charted your life all the way, because, you know. You
feeling yourself right now because you're talking right on tonight, bro.
But what's so crazy is I remember when you first got here. And when you first got here, I loved your music because it was unique. It was fresh. It was different than anything else.
More big band.
And the big band stuff, Frank Sinatra is like one of my faves. Like, that's an era that I wish I could have been a part of the Rat Pack.
We would have been in that world.
Oh, yeah. Easy. I was easy without a problem, because that's an era. Yeah. And it's an era that was just so dope.
It was golden.
So when you came and you were doing that, and then you were sort of implementing that into the church, but you took a lane that was unique. How was it coming from Berkeley and then coming to Los Angeles? How was that transition?
Okay, so you know how I said I was kind of ready for Berkeley? Los Angeles was a different beast. Yeah, because while Berkeley is a feeder school for the entertainment industry, you're gonna find Berkeley all over the entertainment industry. And mind you, right before Berkeley, I did an intensive at Juilliard right before. Oh, wow. So I was already like, oh, I'm ready. I'm gonna be signed to a major label.
You think success is gonna happen like this?
I got my degree was professional music with the concentration in music business marketing. So I'm ready. I get out here.
And everybody is just like you.
Right.
It's a line.
It's a bunch of them. I'm like, this wasn't what we talked about. And so I started getting introduced to the school of the hard knocks, the street teaching of the hustle of, if everybody's great, what makes you different? And that's when I started understanding. It took me a minute to really lock in. I was always standing out, but it took me a minute to trust my distinction being my superpower. And that informed my new mantra, which I always tell people, just be cool.
Just be cool.
Be cool. The definition of cool, get this, is the unapologetic embrace of your uniqueness. When you embrace your uniqueness, you find your distinction. And right in the heart of your distinction, you've unlocked and discovered your superpower. And then you can't be stopped.
I love that.
Creation applauds you because finally you've shown up truly as you were meant to be. And so for me, it took a minute, but it started shifting. And I remember I was coming in as choir boy. I was like major choir boy. And I remember meeting my first person that I kind of connected to out here was Scotty Granger, who introduced me to Gerald Haddon, who introduced me. But I already knew Rodney Jerkins.
You knew? Did you know Warren and Erica?
No. Gerald Haddon introduced me to Warren and Erica, and they're like, yeah, I kind of knew about you, and then
Nissan,
all of them, like all at the same. It was the weirdest. We were at Warren's old studio, Fever, and I'm like, I guess I'm gonna work on my gospel album. Warren's like, I'm an executive producer. Eric's like, I'm writing songs for it.
That's dope.
Gerald's like, I'm gonna produce it. And they were all like, and I'm just like, this is crazy. This is crazy.
And especially coming from a place to where you get here to LA, you don't understand what's going on. But the thing that I got from it was your mother gave you the greatest gift of all. Because each time they call your name, it reminds you and it speaks to your spirit of who you are. So when you start lacking in your confidence and self-confidence, somebody on an audition, they say, Major. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
And then you shake off that doubt. You
just gave me something new, though. You just gave me something new.
You shake off a lot of the doubt and the things that you will go through. So she was allowing people to speak into your spirit, and you don't even know that they were speaking in your spirit by just saying your name. Just saying your name. So I just think that I have never connected with it that way until you just said that. Yeah, but it's real. And I got that because there's power in the name. And a lot of biblical characters had to change their name to get to that point. But your mother gave you the greatest gift that she could have gave you by naming you that because it speaks to your spirit. Oh, yeah, most definitely. And then for you to get to LA and go through this, and then you got your boy, you got Gerald, who God used, and God don't use Gerald like that. That's my brother. God don't use Pastor Gerald like that. But the fact that God used you to do that and to introduce you to that, and then I'm a product of that meeting because I met you through my cousin Nissan and family. So, man, your mama gave you a gift, man. I applaud your mama. Oh, my God. It has never registered with me like that. But it's real. That every time my name is spoken, it's speaking back to me as a reminder of who I am and why I am. Oh my God. And it goes further than that. It's not just to you. No. It's to everybody that says your name. So when they say their name, it validates them and it makes them think about who they are. Bro, listen to me. So when my mom told me what my name was, after that, I then said, I am going to commit. There was going to be a movement where I said, I am major. And I'm going to tell everybody, you are major because you are you. It's the unapologetic embrace. That's why I now move in every space with that. And I've offered it for so many people for that, but I forgot that it's supposed to register with me that way. I'm in a season, bro. You the root. I'm in a season. I'm in a season. I am in a season that has challenged me to live the hope that I give. And it's difficult when you have to take your own prescription. Brother. It's easy to prescribe, but it's hard to take. So sometimes life puts you in a position where you got to take your prescription. Every single song. It ain't easy. Every single song. I'm married now, so Why I Love You has taken on a totally different meaning where I'm realizing, yes, love is patient, love is kind, love is long-suffering, love keeps no record of wrong. Love does not envy, it does not boast. It is not self-seeking. But don't you? But bro, let me finish. Because I sing about this is why I love you. And when shout out to Stevie Wonder for making time to speak life into me and say, always write about love because God is love and he'll always be there. And I'm learning in that moment that he's giving me the secret to his formula as a songwriter, the master of love songs. That's Stevie. No one. Hands down. No argument. And even as I'm now in this season of being acquainted with the very prescription that I've given to so many people on how to do this thing called life in love. And now I'm telling you, it is an amazing thing. I am in probably my wealthiest season of my life simply for the virtues that are enriching me, not the money. Yes, I am financially better off than I have ever been in my life. Yeah. I'm nowhere near where I ultimately would like to be and think that I'm going to be. But the richness of the virtues filling me and empowering me and reworking me and reconditioning me, brother. But you jumped ahead. And when you jumped ahead, you spoke of the song, This Is Why I Love You. And the song is Why I Love You. But, thank you to the African-American community renaming the song. I'm going to put my spin on it. You grew up in the church, right. My lyrics is going to be different. Like John Legend's Ordinary People. We're just ordinary people. We're just ordinary people. But the Why I Love You I want to know what was in your head when you penned something so beautiful. Like, who were you thinking of, and what were you thinking of that allowed you to write something so beautiful?
You want the hilarious or you want the sincere?
I want the sincere first, and then I want you to give me the funny.
Okay. When I get to the studio and Harmony says, this is a love song. We're recording this tonight. And I said, okay. And I start coming with my words. And I had all these different phrases, and I naturally flow in a poetic cadence anyway. But the words just seem so cliche. And I'm never against cliche because I believe cliches are God's intention to make sure we hear it again.
In rap, they call them punchline.
There it is. There it is. Right. Easy. But I said, I gotta go deeper. And Harmony says, and I said, Harmony, I know heartbreak, but I don't know like love. I'm deeply in love yet. Outside, the only person that's been that consistent with love is my mama and God. And he says, well, write it about God. And I said, that's it. Because at the end of the day, God's intention is that we experience his love on earth as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
And I heard God say as an affirmation, write about me and the rest of the world will sing along. I found love in you. And I learned, and Harmony had a buddy in the studio that was at the time while I'm just saying it, because I'd already said, this is why I love you. Ooh, this is why I love you, because you love me. And that was already, he was just like, that's gonna be the thing.
And it was just like that in your falsetto like and everything?
The whole thing.
Because when you first came, you weren't doing the falsetto.
No, but I always had it. And I was unsure about it, but I would always do it privately, but not on stage. For some reason, I didn't have the confidence to do that on stage because I was just leaning on my tone is going to kill it.
You didn't have the confidence or the courage?
The courage.
Okay.
My guy. My guy. That's it. Didn't have the courage. But I do that and I say, I then start writing, and his buddy Dreddy was in the studio, and I said, I found love in you and I learned to love. And he said, me too. And I'm like, and Harmony's like, publishing. And I'm like, God dog it. But shout out to Dreddy because it put it together. And then all of a sudden words just started flowing and flowing and flowing. And I said, this is going to be sang at funerals, at weddings, to babies. You can sing it to babies. You can sing it to yourself.
But it just speaks to your spirit and it resonates in your spirit to where when you hear it, it reminds you of all the beautiful things and where you found love at, or what you love and the things that you love, and it validates that experience. And I just think that, man, I always was curious as where it came from.
Well, so remember, I experienced heartbreak as well. So I said, what did you not get from the experience that broke your heart? And so I said, I need to pull that in and I need to make it so simple that people literally have, I say, a golden print, the blueprint, but a golden print of how this thing called love is to be fully realized. It is reciprocity. If I'm the only one giving and I receive nothing in return, that relationship ain't love. If I'm the only one receiving and give nothing in return, that's not love. But if we're both giving, if we're both putting in, nobody's left empty.
And we both have equity in the situation.
We're both in this thing and everyone's fed. And so literally that was a love letter to God. And God said, watch creation sing along. And sure enough, while experts at record labels were telling me, they didn't think that this, they said this is going to be too slow for radio. They loved it. but they said we need something fast to set this up. It was Ghazi of Empire. That wherever I go, if I'm no longer with Empire, it doesn't matter. Ghazi will always be saluted for his putting his money where his mouth was when he heard this song and believing strong enough. Jay Valentine set up the interview with Ghazi with Harmony.
I love Jay.
And the rest is history.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But you want the hilarious?
I want the hilarious now.
So here's the funny. I was on set. Have you heard of Kev on Stage? Mm-hmm. Kev on Stage has a brother named Jason Fredericks who manages him from time to time, but they started out working together in the Playmakers group, and Jason had a web series. We're on the web series. I was casted in it. My brother Jor-El Quinn was also casted in it. Jor-El is on the piano playing lullaby music. They ask, what do you want for lunch? And they were saying it was low budget, so all they had money for were sandwiches. And everybody, they were like ham, turkey, or veggie, which is basically just the lettuce and peppers. Yeah. I said, chicken salad sandwich. I want a chicken salad sandwich.
That's where the melody came from?
Because I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Brother, they filmed that, posted it.
Why Subway didn't give you an endorsement or something, man? You should have went to Subway.
Listen.
Now
Subway
look.
don't have chicken salad. They only have tuna. And we found, I'm not going to knock Subway. Somebody said it wasn't real tuna. But anyway, because I love that mess. But anyway, Harmony saw the video. This is my first viral video. It probably had like 1,000 views, but that was viral for me.
That's dope.
And I'm getting mad excited. Harmony says, yo, where's that song from? I said, it just came to me. He says, it just came to you? It's your idea. I said, yeah, it just came to me. They wanted sandwiches. And I was like, I want chicken salad sandwich. That's my favorite sandwich. And he said, cool. That's a hit. I said, I was thinking the same thing. Chick-fil-A. Let's try to send it to Chick-fil-A to get a deal. He says, no, it's a hit song on the radio. That's a love song. We can write a love song to that. Take it down. I said, first of all, I'm grown.
I'm not your son.
Yeah, I'm not your son. I said, take it down. I'm telling you, it's a hit. Come to the studio tonight. We'll write to it. I said,
and that's how it was born.
I took it down. I took it down, get to the studio, and that's...
I love hearing the backstory on how creative spaces occur. Like, I just think that is dope, the way that it happened. And it was destined to happen. And the world needed that.
Yeah.
The world needed that because, the world music was so full of a whole bunch of other stuff. It needed something beautiful. But look, so tell me this. We went to Berkeley. We went to your experience of LA. We went to This Is Why. Oh, we went to the song, the beautiful song. So my question to you is, just before the pandemic, you got married.
I did.
And
in the pandemic, actually, I got married.
No, it was a little before the pandemic.
I proposed before the pandemic.
Oh, you did. You proposed before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, because I wasn't invited to the actual wedding. I mean,
but
that's nevertheless, I wasn't invited to the actual wedding. But my question is, so I remember before you got married, you had opinions. And you had very strong opinions about people's relationships and the way people should handle stuff and this. And my father would always say, a man with an experience will never bow to a man with a theory. So a lot of times we theorize what things are like, but we're speaking, it's kind of like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, we had these kid preachers and they be getting up here talking about, well, God will keep you and God will do this and you don't have to sin and you don't have to, but little man, you 10 years old. You ain't been through nothing. So it's a lot of noise, but the anointing comes from when you've gone through something and that experience has changed you. And then it was nothing but God that brought you out. So when you go through that, it validates you. So like for you, now that you're married,
I'm going on record. I'm going on record to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. While I believe in the philosophy and the truth of what I understood for relationships to still stand, I will never, ever lack a compassion or an empathy for those that are caught in the journey of marriage, because it is a perpetual life journey. So I got to shout out my brothers.
Yeah, don't call no names, because
my brothers. Listen, I'm not even going to say names. My brothers and my sisters that were all married, when I was just like, listen, just think about it this way. Just do it this way. And they're like, okay.
Yeah, let's see how.
Thank you for the advice. But you'll see, it ain't as easy. Man.
The best lessons in life, the ones that are lived. So now that you've lived it, you got a different testimony.
I will never rush people to getting married, because you have to be ready to undo every day. You have to be ready.
And it's a lot of sacrificing. Like,
I was just about to say, you have to be ready to sacrifice of yourself every day, every moment.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. And this is why you love her.
Because it's my forever companion.
That's awesome.
My forever friend.
So what did the pandemic do for your life? Like, we all have pandemic survivor stories. How was the pandemic for you? I mean, I know it stopped a lot of performances and things, but what did you pull from the pandemic?
The pandemic mandated for me and others, but I know I can speak for me, a be still. It mandated a Selah. In the book of Psalms, you see Selah a lot. It's a Hebrew concept of pause.
Yeah, some people say Selah.
Some people say Selah.
Yeah.
Some people say Selah. S-E-L-A-H looks like Selah to me. But that's semantics.
Right? Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful that you brought that up, because a lot of church people, they use it, and sometimes they use it out of context. But the fact that that sometimes you got to take a pause.
A pause to calmly think on all that God is.
And evaluate.
All that God has been and all that God will be. All that God is, all that God has been, and all that God will be. When you pause to think on that, you're able to collect your circumstances, place them next to the God of all things, and you realize how insignificant the stuff that you've been caught up in.
And gain that confidence. So that's what feeds your confidence to prepare you for the battle that's in front of you.
If some of the best warriors know that the pre-game experience, your regimen is to get quiet and to get still before you go out there. Very rarely will you see a champion fighter be loud and obnoxious before a fight. Get quiet.
And summons your inner strength.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The Selah summons an inner strength. And that's what the pandemic did for me. A lot of jobs stopped, but a lot of things opened up for me. I was doing virtual shows because my pedigree fit the need of what people were doing virtually. No knock on other performers that need, the smoke and mirrors to enhance their experience. But thank God I had the rigorous training to be able to show up with or without, You know, when they say we don't need no music, that's what that preparing did for me.
You were able to adjust.
Bro, I was able to adjust. I know growing up in a big family, you have to know that we've had financial strain and difficulties at random, unexpected times, because having to always fund that magnitude of a family unit, that's a lot. So I knew what being poor was. I knew what being middle class was. I knew what when we had a lot and going back to being poor, when my stepdad got really sick and he was a breadwinner at the time. And so I got to experience all that. So a pandemic didn't scare me, but it literally pulled me still. And it says, now, Major, take introspection and inventory of what you're giving and what you're taking and what's taking from you and what needs to either be here or no longer be here. Man. And we all started seeing that. We started seeing corporations started realizing, oh, we don't need all this building space to actually get work done, you know?
And it brought us back to the things of significance. I think a lot of times we had a lot of stuff in our lives that distracted us from facing our truths. So once all of that once that was all removed from us, then it forced us to either see ourselves and also to see the people that we were with and who our friends were.
Or sink deeper in denial.
Or sink deeper in denial. But like for me, it changed my perspective, and it showed the valuable relationships, and then it showed my relationships that weren't valuable. And you know, for me, losing my mother just before, then going through that, like it enhanced what I was already going through during the mourning process. And I think, like for you, who gets married during the pandemic? But it's a perfect time to get married because you done cleaned all the foolishness out and you're stripped it, and now you're prepared.
Having to literally face every challenge, because you can either choose to ignore it, and the challenge is gonna sit there and wait on you, or you can face it and go in and trying to be better. Mm-hmm. And we had marriage counseling, premarital counseling during that time. I was like, how am I gonna pay for this? But then stuff started coming, and the favor that came at random, you know, it just left and right.
How many shows did you lose though? Like, did you have dates already booked?
Yes.
But even in that, you didn't miss no meals.
Did you try to be funny?
Because I mean, the way you eat now, it seemed like you hungry.
I recovered. I've never been so disrespected in my life. Nah, you're right. I didn't miss that one.
But I'm just
meal.
saying, I just think that it's a blessing because a lot of people struggle. And they struggle with...
I ate so much food during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I apologize.
But that's good, though.
I apologize to God, but I receive his amazing grace.
And amazing greens, right? So, marriage, pandemic. When you were a kid, where did you see your life would be? Did you think you would be in this space? Or did you think you'd be leading a choir at a church somewhere?
Never thought I would lead a choir.
Or you said you were going to be a pastor.
Never thought I'd be leading the choir.
I mean, pastors, Marvin Sapp is a minister of music as well as a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I never saw that.
But you didn't see that?
I literally saw a pastor and a famous singer. I did not see he's leading the choir. He'll be over the music ministry. I had worship leading I was always asked to be a worship leader because I was, for the longest out here, the worship leader, one of the lead worship leaders at one church.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And before that,
Teray is a friend of mine.
Before that, shout out to him. It's his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Teray. God bless you, brother.
Before that, Living Waters. And all throughout, I'm a worshiper. So leading worship was never really like a career thing for me. It was a lifestyle thing for me.
What's your perception of ministry now, though? Like when we were a kid, we have a perception of what ministry is and what ministry should be. But I think, like anything, ministry has evolved. And everybody has a different perception of what they feel ministry should be or what God's ministry for you is. What's your ministry now? Do you think that you're living in your ministry with?
My perception of ministry now is the equivalent to my perception of what humanity is now. It is a forever work in progress. Never perfect.
And it's meeting the needs, man. You gotta adjust to meet the needs of the people. And you gotta make people better. You gotta inspire, you gotta motivate, you gotta challenge. And I think that's what ministry should be.
For the longest, when I transitioned from thinking I was gonna be a gospel singer to mainstream music, people were like, well, you said you're gonna be gospel, because I was like, the script that I had for myself was I was going to be the artist that crossed over like Kirk did, a hero of mine, like CeCe Winans, BB and CeCe, crossover like that. And God had a different script for me, because now I'm able to have kingdom conversations without being introduced as the gospel artist into rooms. And then there's apprehension, and I have to prove that I can be trusted because of people's jaded experiences, with wrongly placing expectations on ministry as perfection when that's not what it is. But what I did was I then realized that this is ministry.
This is ministry.
I am absolutely in ministry. I remember when King Jamie Foxx showed up to Foxhole Live at the Conga Room. And
shout out Nissan.
Shout out to Nissan, who always put me on. And Damo and all of those guys. And
Marcus King.
Yeah. That put me on. And well, Nissan believed in me even when the rest of them were like, what's happening here? And so
sometimes he gets it right.
So I salute Nissan.
Sometimes he gets it right.
I know
he don't always get it right, but sometimes he get it right.
Nissan's gonna knock you out with one of his clubs.
That's my little cousin. He ain't knocking nothing out.
Our little cousin and best friend. He loves you, and I know you love him. Yeah. But I remember
you better shout out Toya. You better say something about Toya.
Toya's my homie.
All right.
That's my home skillet.
Right.
That's my home skillet. That is lit. She literally feels like a sister by blood. It is crazy. She just gets it. Anyway, when I was afforded opportunities, thanks to Nissan and them for allowing me to sing, I remember singing that night. Biz Marquis, rest in peace, was the special guest. And Jamie just so happened to show up, because he didn't always show up to his Foxhole Live because he's busy. He's a mega star, you know what I mean? He's a mega star, you know?
Yeah,
and I sang Fly Me to the Moon.
I remember that.
I sang Fly Me to the Moon. I said, fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Got real quiet. And I'm testing out something that Rodney Jerkins had just told me after seeing a superstar do it live. And we're like, Michael Jackson and only a few have ever been able to stand still and the people go crazy. And I said, Rodney, I'm going to do that in my next performance. And so I tested it here. Now, mind you, I used to look like a caricature literally from the era with the whatever. And so I said, and let me play among the stars. And I just got quiet. And the room you start hearing people saying, what this joker, what this clown, what he looking like? And they were talking, but something said, commit. I owned it. The place gets silent. Just like we just saw the Michael Jackson do. Quiet. And I said, let me see what spring gets like on. The whole place goes crazy. And they played it, Damo and all of them are playing it in a way that's just like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's fly.
Flip it. The place goes wild. After I finish, the place is clapping crazy. And Jamie said, no. Who is that? And he said, bring him back out. And I come out, he says, what's your name? I said, Major. He said, Major. He said, Major Crooner. I was trying to do Major Crooner. He said, Major Crooner. He says, where can people find you, man? And I said, YouTube. Everybody go to YouTube. / Major Crooner. He said, sing it. I said, everybody go to YouTube. / Major Crooner. And he started singing it back. I'm not seeing him because it's dark. And I'm just hearing his voice. I'm like, Jamie Foxx is talking to me. And this place is going wild. He said, everybody back up on your feet. Go crazy. Alani Burrell,
Charlie Burrell?
No, Lonnie. Yeah. Lonnie was singing background. They came on stage and started singing background.
Another Marcus.
As he sing. And Marcus, my brother Marcus, that's my brother. Yeah. They all singing it back and they're just singing it. And that moment went viral for me. And I just remembered him saying, where are you from? Like, and I'm just here to just give people love.
Texas,
and he said to me, he says, you from the church. You sound like a pastor. I'll never forget that night. He says, you taking off. Chris Spencer said it at R&B Live Hollywood.
Funny how people speak
Jamie Foxx said it there.
People speak to your spirit at different times when you need something spoken to it. And then when it comes from people like that, it's like, wow, like one of my childhood idols is speaking to my spirit because they recognize the gift that God has given me.
Bro, and so that's what I'm saying. Salute to Jamie Foxx. He will probably never really care to, know me.
No, he will, because Jamie's a good dude.
He's an excellent dude. But what I'm saying is his life, we may never intersect again.
We're not going to speak that into existence. We're going to say you are going to happen, and y'all going to do something together. And I'm speaking
I'd be honored. Yeah. I'd be honored because he gets it. He gets it from every angle, every degree.
And his falsetto might get yours though. Like,
I'll just say there's only one major falsetto. I'm okay with, collaborating with the Fox falsetto, but what I wanted to say is his sharing a moment that didn't have to be shared.
And providing that platform
blew my heart and encouraged me on a day that I needed it the most, because this journey has been so difficult. And when Mark Curry too, being the host that night, bro, these are the moments that God allows you. Will you still, even if things don't look fully the way you've wanted them or that you're expecting them to look, will you still represent me in full? And every time I say yes, he shows up in full and blows my mind even beyond.
And you need those little wins like that to prepare you for those difficult days and for the big win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because had you not had those experiences, who's to say you would have had the big one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think it's beautiful. So look, tell me this. With we forgot to mention,
I'm tired.
Just tell me this. Just tell me this. We're gonna end in a minute, but let's talk about.
I'm joking.
Let's talk about this. How did you get on TV though? Because one thing I saw you singing, and I saw you doing it, and I knew that because you grew up in the theater and you grew up in theater arts and that kind of thing, I knew you had it in you. But how did you end up how did that happen? In a major show too.
Are you shocked? Or
I'm not shocked, but I just say that
I'm trying to figure out.
I know people that have been chasing this dream for all their lives, and the fact that you came and your gift made room for you, and not just in one lane, but your gift made room for you in multiple lanes.
My brother,
so I just think that it's just dope.
My brother, this is not an overnight success. This has been many, many years of trying and failing.
Man, you're only 25 years old.
I like that. That's what I'm talking
you're
about.
You're only 25 years old, bro. Like, you're be acting like many, many years.
Listen,
like
brother,
walk to school.
Do understand?
No shoes on.
My first paid gig was 8 years old. UNCF. Shout out to UNCF for paying their bills. Thank you. Let me tell you something. That was Slumber-J Oil, actually, that paid that first one. UNCF was the second one.
Slumber-J Oil.
Let me tell you something.
What kind of oil is that? Slumber-J Oil. What does that do?
If you go to Texas,
Is hair grease or something?
No. It's real oil. It's called billionaires, millionaires.
Right,
That's a difference. Although no shade on the hair oil, because they make a fortune. Shout out to the Bronner brothers, because Bishop Bronner's my guy. That's my guy. So anyway, acting has always been a part of it. I literally have studied theater as long as I studied music.
Yeah, I mean, you act all the time, even when it's no cameras rolling. You're always in character.
Oh, there it is. This guy. Now I'm acting like I want to be here. All right, so convincing. All right, so listen. I auditioned for a lot of stuff and was always called back, but never got it. This opportunity happened with Star the moment. Now, mind you, I'm already repped by ICM, so I should have already gotten gigs and all that stuff. But the moment Why I Love You had done extremely well, Honest was my next song, and I'm trying to figure out what is the song that's going to beat Why I Love You, because the pressure
you to that next level.
I got to outdo it. And I'm stressing, I'm putting more pressure on myself than what the reality really is. There's no one's pressuring me that much, because Why I Love You was still fresh, and Honest is going up the charts.
It had a life for itself.
It literally goes viral every single month. We're at 122 million streams alone on YouTube.
Wow.
Alone.
Wow.
But what I realized was I need to get myself in a space where I'm not trying to chase the promise, but simply rise up in it wherever I am with whatever I have. And so I took my first ever vacation. That was a legit vacation, not connected to a gig. I was blown away that I could afford it like that.
Where'd you go?
I went to Hawaii, and that's how they say it, Hawaii.
I got it.
Say it.
I got it.
I
got it.
You been there?
It's not. Yes, punchline.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
That's what I do.
Jaime,
That's why I love you, though.
So, yep. There it is. I get to Hawaii after meeting talking to this person on the plane, and she was just like, "I'm in Hawaii. Just come." Older lady. "I'm in Hawaii. Just come. Get plenty of mahalo. That's love."
So you went to Hawaii on a vacation with a woman that you didn't really know.
She's married.
And that makes a difference.
I guess that doesn't sound even better. I said this, that she served as an angel almost to say, "Come to Hawaii. Put all your cares aside."
So you saying it was heaven there with her? Like
I Hakuna Matata.
Oh wow!
In Hawaii.
Is that tongue?
She showed me the island. And there was when I released it. I remember seeing the ocean. I ain't never seen the ocean quite like this. And my mind was, are you going to let me drive this thing? Or do you want to drive? You're a pretty decent driver. But I have a track record with no wrecks. And I said, "It's all on you, God. Thank you for everything." Says, "Just be grateful." I get back the next week. First day I get back, I find out Why I Love You went gold. A couple days later, I find out Honest is nominated for a Grammy. A couple days later, I get a call to audition for Star because a few people had circulated my name. Amina, who I saw when Star first happened, and I met her years back, and I said, "One day I want to be on that show. Figure out a way, please." Luke James recommended me strongly.
Luke is dope.
My brother. They called me, and Leah Daniels Butler said, "We would love you to audition." I auditioned. I end up getting the part. to literally be what I actually represent, the bridge between mainstream and faith. That was my character.
Perfect character. Yeah.
And it allowed me to show the acting, because I said, God, I don't want to just be the featured singer guy on the movies and the TV shows, because I was on a few things. Master of Sex.
Man.
Master of Sex.
Which you didn't know anything about, I'm sure.
All right. But it was always a featured singer. But literally, the moment I took my hands off the wheel, God showed me how well he drives.
Man, favor ain't fair, huh? Favor ain't fair, man. That's awesome. So in our conclusion and wrapping up,
please, thank you.
I love all the things that we spoke on. I want you to tell me what this next project is and what this project that you're working on. And you seem so excited about it. I want you to tell me about this project, because
brother,
the world needs it.
Major Hope Motivations. Major Hope Motivations. Can you say it just so it can be
Major
official?
Hope Motivations.
That's official now. It is a collective of 8 life-changing spoken motivations and expressions designed to empower the inner champion of every listener. I know I've always been told that I have a sound, and I always kind of connected it to me as a singer, and maybe when I act, you'll hear it. But I am simply speaking life back into the hopeless, working and striving and on mission to amplify hope in all things. King Jesse Jackson said, keep hope alive.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Was this born during the pandemic?
Absolutely.
In the pandemic, you saw how hurt people were, and a lot of people were committing suicide and fighting depression and mental anxiety and all those type of things. So this was born from that period.
It was born through that. It was prior to. I was deepened to have to live with these conversations, because songs, the new music, it's crazy. It's like Bill Withers, Marvin Gaye meets Coldplay. It's like literal, the soul of heaven meets earth. It is special.
Why you don't invite me in the studio so that I can
listen? Let's not waste time here. Let's not waste time here.
Focus
on.
I got bars, bro.
Focus on curating experiences and jewelry design and all that other stuff.
I come there with some "Let Your Light Shine," man. It'd be dope, bro.
Yeah.
You gave your mantra, my mantra. Let your light shine. Just let me get a little bar, man.
Yeah.
I can do the motivational thing.
Let me tell you something that I learned. You wait until you're asked. Keep waiting, Jaime.
Was that a curse word?
Keep waiting till you're asked.
One
thing I do know is that I'm articulate than a mug. I was saying Christmas before people realized Christmas had a T. People be like, why are you saying Christmas? I'm just like, because that's Christ. Why would I just throw it away?
Why would you just throw it away?
But yeah, Major Hope Motivations.
I love it, man.
September 28th.
I love it.
I'm super excited. The themes are hope, the moment, stillness.
The moment was my favorite, man. That moment gave me charge, man. And I listened to it, and there's something that you could constantly repeat, and it speaks to your spirit. It's like a book of mine. I read this book called The Four Agreements, and I read the book often, and I do it on audiobook, but each time I listen to it, I gain something different. And from me listening to that, every time, the time that I listen to it is something that I know I could put on repeat when I'm having one of those days and I need something to speak to my spirit. I could put that in rotation to where a few of those would get me back to myself.
I got one for the grievers, and it literally starts with, Dear griever, don't apologize for breaking down. Brother, I'm talking to hearts. I have one about forgiveness, where I say forgiveness is release, not permission.
I think you got that from one of my Instagram stories.
No, cut the
like,
crap.
No, for real, bro. Like,
I helped
real.
you out.
No.
I have inspired you for years.
One of my Instagram, Jaime's Food for Thought.
What did you say?
Got that.
What'd you say?
You know what I said.
Tell me what you
and
said.
You know it because
if you
forgiveness
said
and
it,
reconciliation, and I went through the whole thing. You complimented and you reposted it. Actually, in all actuality,
perhaps this project that has been recorded
I need my publishing
for
on
months,
this project.
Probably
no, this was
in alignment.
This was a few years ago.
Oh, years ago. Oh, now you're doing too much because I wasn't even touching your stinking IG stories.
My attorneys will be sending you
a cease and desist.
No, man, but again, Major, I appreciate you taking this time out, man. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you gotta get back to your wife. Gotta get back to your wife and your life. But absolutely. Thank you so much for joining the huddle, man. It means a lot for me for you to take time out of your schedule and do it. And I know you didn't do it because you had to, but you did it because of our relationship. And it means a lot. And I consider you, like I give you a hard time and I talk a lot of mess, but man, you are forever my brother. And I love you, bro. Thank you.
Good man. I'd hug him, but it'd be awkward to get up and then do it. We're here, everybody, in the huddle with Jaime.